Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So I would like to invite you to the webinar regarding to the 3D printing from the basic perspective, how to prepare specific prototypes and also how to print actual prototype. So let's start. We'll follow a couple of main topics, which are what is the RT-Thread, overall 3D printing, prototyping, and hands-on workshop. But first, let me introduce myself. Oh, hold on, because something wrong. I'm Jakub Płuska. I'm from Poland. So I'm working as a security information manager. I'm a collector of the vintage computers, and I'm a contributor of RT-Thread ecosystem. I was interested about the prototype since many years. However, always was difficult to prepare specific cases, specific hardware, because everything was super expensive, right? But now we are in the good position that we can set up something in our home, and we can develop something really good and very useful in about minutes, I would say. So what is the RT-Thread? So RT-Thread is a whole platform, is an ecosystem, is a real-time operating system. But why it's that special, that is different than other operating systems? From my perspective, it's you can run it on the microcontrollers, right? So you cannot do it with the Windows or any other like large operating systems which require normal CPU, like PowerPC, ARM, MISP, x86. But with the RT-Thread, you can have a very cheap, very small platform with the very powerful. And you can have a dedicated versions which are Thread for the smart devices, IoT version of the Thread OS, and Nano, which is for very small microcontrollers for the small sensors that you can build and install. Also, you can develop and add to the specific markets. Overall, system was born in the 2006, so many years ago, and since then there was a huge improvement from the kernel base only to the whole ecosystem with the applications, IDE, board packages. So this slide can explain everything, right? So we have very long journey of the operating system and, like I said, whole ecosystem with the many changes. But without community and people who wants improve open source solutions like RT-Thread would be impossible. So yeah, I'm extremely happy that I can participate and improve that kind of interesting system. I would like to mention also from the software perspective that you have IDE system itself is POSIX compatible, so it's like a Unix style. In the IDE you have more than 60 software packages, and I'm not the developer. I know a little bit about preparing software and writing a little bit of the code, but I'm not actual developer. And since I was dealing with the preparing the image to specific prototyping purpose and investigating within the cybersecurity and how I can use it, was very easy to set up itself. So I was able to only just go to the properties of the operating system, to install the specific packages, compile, and that's it. So it was amazing, much easier than in the many competitors, I would say. So I really enjoy it. As a like I said, I'm not the actual developer. So, and the next topic is unboxing the HMI board. It's a very powerful device based on Renesas microcontroller, clocked at 120 megahertz. So it's quite powerful. It has a built-in display, and also it also contains many of the connections like the USB serial port and expansions compatible with Arduino or PMOD. So I have a unit and I want to show you one. So hold on for the second. So I will stop presenting and switch the camera. Yes, so this is the unit in the box. So once we open the box, yep, it's brand new. We have a USB-C cable, the board itself, right? So let me that way. We can put it. It's really nice and very good quality device. You have a, what is important, you have a Ethernet and you have a CAN. So you can use it for the automotive projects to connect to your car, to read some errors, also to get some specific data, or even you can use it as a specific device for media or many other. Main CPU, SD card reader, Arduino. So it's very good, right? And next to this device, I have already printed, and probably you saw that. So let's this one put it away, and let's connect and see what happened. Yeah. So once you connect your brand new device, HMI board, you have a demo, and you have a couple of basic applications that you can use. You can have an even game. You can install from the ID demo for the media player, and couple more. So it's quite good. It's very responsive. You can play. So I spent a couple hours last time playing that game. So it's quite good. You have a SD card. So like I said, this is just a demo from the factory. However, you can use specific libraries to run multimedia devices. It's very good also for the home automation, however, because you can install on the wall and have a nice screen, small one, and then have options to control your house. So, like I said, it's very good, and I think you should have one or two for the purpose of the developing. Let's back to the presentation itself. So let me share the screen again. So we are going to the part number 2, 3D printing. So I would say there are common types of the 3D printers on the market. Oh, sorry, it's automatically changing. So the basic one is fused deposition modeling. Sorry again. That way. SLA. Oh gosh. Sorry about that, but it's keep changing for some reason. SLS, PBF, and DLP, right? We are going to go to the finally FDM, which is sorry guys, I need to just stop for somehow. I'm not sure why it's automatically doing that kind of thing. Okay, so FDM printer, it's melting the specific type of the plastic or other filaments, and then printing layer by layer by layer. I would say couple years ago, I had a XYZ Da Vinci printer, which was very good on the market that time. However, every print was painful, was slow. I had to adjust the printer. I had the problem with sticking to the band because I had no heating band. So it was a nightmare. So it was a good decision to just sell it. Currently, I'm using Bamboo Lab P1P, which is the basic model from this company, and I can tell you that it helps a lot. It doesn't matter. So if you want to buy the 3D printer, think about something that you will not spend many hours to just make it running properly, and start focusing on actual prototyping, because you may print a lot and make some kind of errors, right? So let me jump to another slide about the materials. So when you have a FDM printer, you may have different materials. So they are different because of melting temperature, working with how you print it, and also require some additional things, like a glue stick on the bed. So I would say if you want to start with the 3D printing, I think that the best would be PLA or PETG, which are quite easy to print. However, I do not recommend it using on the outside. I did the mistake. I printed the holder to the iPad to my car, and after half hour was like a banana. So I of course I forgot about the temperatures, and then when I changed to the ABS, which was more difficult to print, I was able to get the proper temperatures. I will show you something also. So let me stop the sharing. So if you order the filament is in that kind of box, and inside the box you have information about the specification. It's very useful because by default some of the profiles from the 3D printing software, and I will show you later on, not match with what you have here, and I recommend to follow that. And itself is in the already covered with the anti-humidity silicone. Currently this one is open, so I can show you. So this is the ABS. It's quite a good one, and also I recommend to use like a better quality filaments. I'm using Devil Design. It's like I said, it's quite good, and I don't have any problems with the printing. So if you're concerned about which materials you may use, so it's also good to think how you will use your prototype. Because, for example, if you would like to print like a case for the HMI board, I can say that like this one, it was printed in PLA, so it was quite, I would say, quite good. Hold on for the second. Okay, so let me share my screen again. Let's go to the next slide. So prototyping, that's very interesting. So there are plenty of design applications, like Fusion, Blender, Tinkercad. So depends of the licensing model, price. Also, there are like standalone applications, which are like Fusion, or web-based applications, So depends how difficult project you want to create. You may start with the specific apps. However, I suggest, because every application requires some basics and some training, I suggest to use the Tinkercad. I started with this one, and I can tell you that it's very powerful, but it contains some kind of logic, so you need to change some, I would say, way of designing than, for example, in Fusion 360. So let me go to the what is Tinkercad actually. So this is the very, I would say, easy as web software from AutoCAD. It's great for the for the designers, for the teachers and students, so you can collaborate on the 3D models. You can design 3D models, you can design circuits and many other things. You have library of the specific equipment, as you can see. Also, you can import something. So if you have a CAD model from or of some devices like a HMI board, or in that scenario Raspberry Pi Pico, then you can import it and use it as or if you don't have, you have to measure correctly. So I suggest to just draw some prototype and then put it to the Tinkercad. Believe me or not, but it helped me a lot. This the software. So I'm doing many prototypes and many small tools, which whole developing from the idea to actual thing takes about 20-30 minutes, and it helping with the like a renovation of the house or some other things which require some part with where I have to go to the shop, spend the money, spend the time, and that takes like a 2 hours, right? And you can have a very quickly. Also, there are some databases available for the CAD models, for the Tinkercad, that you can import, you can modify based on the specific licensing model. So yeah, it's up to you. So what are the prototyping scenarios and how it looks like? So, oh, sorry guys. So what you have, first of all, some kind of idea, right? So you are thinking what I need actually. There are many, you can have many of them, like game consoles, IoT devices, industrial control systems, for the automotive, something for your car, something which is using ChatGPT or any other AI. Also, you can have something for the cybersecurity, for the vulnerability management, for the security incident management, or additional interfaces. So to be fair, it's up to you, right? And then when you have some specific idea, you have to get the hardware, actually hardware, so you can use it. So if you have for example, let's guess some IoT devices for your home automation, you can get the Raspberry Pi Pico. You can install the RT-Thread on the device, upload some code, for example, for the sensors, for the some measurements, and then print the actual case for the like a DIN rail or standalone that you can put somewhere, hide the device, and then you have a whole environment. Also, it's not only for the home users, and many of companies starting like that. So they have idea, they are creating some prototypes, and then after testing and many prototypes, they have a final product that they can put to the market. So everyone is starting from the same way, but yeah, there's a different volume in the end. So I've created some 10 rules that you may follow, helping you with the prototyping. I think they are very helpful as you know, when you're starting with the prototyping itself, because even for me, when I started designing and dealing with the prototypes and whole different units, I struggle with the many problems. So I think that might help you. So first is, oh, sorry, again. Next time I will prepare better transformation. So embrace the learning process. So it's not about the, sorry guys. Oh gosh. It's not about the result, but also, hold on for the second, I need to fix it. Bear with me. Okay, sorry about that. Let me. Again, sorry about that. Some technical issues. Okay, I think I fixed it. Okay. Again, sorry about that. I'm not the PowerPoint expert. Always this is a very painful process for me. So if you want to talk about the cybersecurity, no problem. But with PowerPoint, I need still to learn some parts. So next time you will help me, guys. So like I said, there are like a 10 rules that you may follow. So the actual prototyping is not about the result itself, because of course you are looking for the some product, or you can looking for the some result of your design. However, it's also the journey that how you learn things. So it's about learning new tools, preparing the whole environment. So it's I would say it's a very interesting journey. And don't be afraid about the mistakes it takes, because you will make a lot. Even now, if based, I have some experience with the designing, but I have full box of the failed prototypes where I made the mistake, wrong measurements, or the CAD files of the actual device was wrong, and then I printed too small the case and it's not fitting, or there are some problems with the installing hardware itself. So yeah, don't be afraid. Okay, so let's jump to another. I hope oh gosh, let me stop it. Okay, so start simple is the second rule. So make the simple prototypes. Do not spend too much time for the super complex, because you have to get some experience and knowledge about it, how to use specific tools, how to design something. So yeah, basic things on the beginning is the best, because once you spend like a many hours, and then the result will be not good as you would like to have. Okay, so the third one is choose right tool. So like I said, explore the software you may have for the design, and choose the right one you prefer. Because for me, Tinkercad is fine, but for some people they prefer Fusion, they prefer Blender or something else. So I would say it's up to you. It's also good to use some additional tools like a cardboard for the small prototypes, and then you can print it so you can compare. And also I would say the drawing of the prototypes also helping a lot. Yeah, so after all, you will have a very good unit that you may use. Okay, so the fourth one, so fail faster, iterate faster. So I would say, first of all, you should have a less expectations than on the beginning. I would say from the service management, it's like an agile way of thinking, right? So step by step by step by step, not like the waterfall that you have one big delivery project, only like a small pieces. So you can catch specific bugs, and then you can get the actual design better and better and better. So it involves also a lot of printing, because once you start small design, then you can print something, see, okay, I can improve that way. So let's change it and improve another. Also, if you're putting your product in the like a small pieces, it's good to print only one and see if it's fit. If not, then you may change it and print again. So that's the very important. Let me go that way. Okay, done. The fifth one is involve others. Um, so it's good to share prototypes. Of course, if it's confidential or you are working the company and you're working on the specific prototypes, you cannot. You can share with your colleagues from your company, right? However, it's good to participate with the online communities like the RT-Thread community and the share idea, because sometimes you may get some feedback or some ideas from someone, or you stuck with the specific problem that you don't know how to solve. Instead of spending many hours to find out the solution, you may ask someone else who already had that problem, so do not invent the wheel again. And yeah, I really enjoy collaborating with the people. Sometimes you are receiving the feedback you are not expecting to have. Sometimes it's not positive, but then you may think that maybe that person is right, and maybe I need to change something, and then you are start reading, you start investigating about specific problem, and then you're able to solve it, and then help someone else who may be in the same situation in the future. So let's okay, it's on. Okay, Okay, so the sixth one is explore different materials. Like I said about the filaments, try different materials, and then you will find out what is the best, what do you like, what are limitations. So you have some kind of overview. You don't need to be super expert and knows everything about every filament, every material that you are printing, but the basic things that you may decide that, okay, let's print in the PLA or PETG to have it up and running right now, I would say. So yeah, test it, don't be afraid. Also, you can you can order small packages of the specific filaments just test it, and then you can buy the big one. As I showed you, it's about 1 kilo, but still it's quite cheap. So I suggest to play around and have like a overview what you can expect actually from the specific materials. Okay. Changing? No, it's working fine. Okay, it's not. So the seventh is celebrate small wins. So I would say even small prototypes or small successes or solving the problems. You should be happy about it because it motivates you to investigate, to play around with something more advanced. So it's pushing you to the specific goal you already have. So yeah, celebrate, like I said, and enjoy. Sorry, okay. So think beyond the perfect. So as like I said before, your product, your prototype shouldn't be perfect on the first time. And also what you can do is to redefine your design. So sometimes you're thinking that, okay, this design is the final and it's perfect. But once you're thinking after like a month, okay, maybe it's not the good one, or you're testing, or you can modify it. So always there's a room for the improvement. So it's like I said, there's a lot of correlation with the service management. So it's like a continual improvement. So once you deliver something, it's a place to improvement something, some processes of the prototyping, the prototype itself, and many others. So don't stop, just continue. Learn from the others. So it's very very connected to the involve the others. So I would say I'm reviewing the prototypes other people on the many pages, and I'm looking for some kind of inspirations or some insights, some problem solving, or some like from the artistic point of view of design, because I'm not artistic person, and for me sometimes it's very difficult to create something which is nice and also useful. So I think it's a good to deal with some specific projects and also make some changes based on the, of course, specific license, right? But if the author accept that kind of changes, why not? So the last one is embrace your creativity journey. So let's start, explore, make experiments. I would say every prototyping, it's learning opportunity, because once you preparing some designs for the different kind of um, devices or for the different purpose, you may struggle with the different difficulties and also have some ideas how to solve it. Maybe you can do it better than other people. So yeah, like I said, I suggest to follow this 10 rules. May help you with the overall journey of the prototyping, and not only with the prototyping, but also with the software developing, working with the specific services. So they are very universal. Part 4. Okay, so this is the hand shop workshop. So what I will show you, I will show the Tinkercad, and I will design in the real time like a basic um, basic case for the Raspberry Pi Pico. I would like to for the HMI board, but takes longer time to print. We would like to avoid some specific errors, so I will make it for the Raspberry Pi Pico. So that's the hardware. So we are using the PC with specific configuration. Tinkercad, Bamboo Lab Studio for the slicing, and I will tell you more about once we started printing. So you may hear some noises in the background. The Firefox, because we are going to use the Tinkercad. Printer is Bamboo Lab P1P, and the filament is PETG Devil Design. So let me close. So we have a so this is the actual Tinkercad, and as you can see, to make it easier for me, I just imported the Raspberry Pi Pico CAD unit. So let's make it very simple. So we are using some tools. So that depends. I would like depends what you would like to have. So we can have only the small one. Like that. So you have some specific measurements, and you can change snap to grid. It's very helpful. Let's make the hole for the yeah, like I said, you have to change the snap to the grid, so you can. And then still. No, better. Okay, so we have one. We need 3 more. So you can just copy paste. So you can use the keyboard shortcut. So it's quite, I would say, quite easy. Also, I suggest that if you have a the module or the specific block that you don't want to move, what you can do, you can just lock it, so you will be not able to move it. It helps if you have many layers, because you can make some kind of mistakes, and then it's, I would say, difficult to catch it. And then when you're printing, it's like, oh gosh, yeah. And then you need to find out the actual error. Okay, so we have that way, and it's, I would say, it's too high. So make it, okay, 580. So you can change actual high, so based on the specific numbers. So if you prepare the prototype on the like a drawing on the sheet of paper, and you have measurements already, it's much easier, because you can put all these kind of things and then put it together. So we have a small case. We can add some specific walls. Be like too high, I think. Okay, like that. And I would say what we can do, let's guess let's make it possible to mount on the wall using specific like a screws or whatever. So what we have to do, we have to make a, oops, I made some error. You can type the Control-Z, so you can revert back your potential errors. So it's I would say help you a lot. Okay, so we have this one, and what we need else would be good to have a hall. So let's make it like a 6x6. Okay. And I would say every of the shapes can be a hole or can be like a solid shape. So it's up to you. And in that situation, I can see that it's not the perfect. Yep. In that situation, what we have to do, we have to combine these two things. So we have to combine Control Shift and Control G. Yep, and then we can copy paste and we can stick together. Okay. Okay, I think it's quite good. Like I said, this is only for the, I would say, this webinar purpose, so it's pretty basic. Normally, when I'm prototyping some specific case, it takes hours because I'm looking for the specific details. Also, I'm making the errors and I'm thinking what would be great, and then I'm deleting something and then changing. So it's a different story. So once we have, I would say, the actual model, and we would like to export to the format that our printer is willing to print, we have to hide the actual Raspberry Pi because we are not going to print it. And then what we have to do, we have to combine everything, and we can see that it's in the one solid color. Also, I suggest that once you have like a multi-parts project, you may change the color. So let me, because we have 15 minutes, so let me export, right? So we have some model, and we have our Bamboo lab software. So we have wrong. So this is the actual software. So let me quickly just import the project, and I will tell you more what happened, right? So let's slice it. Takes about 19 minutes, but we can change the speed. So let's see. I hope there will be no issues with the cloud. Okay. Oh, Okay, it's preheating. Okay, so let me tell you more. So you have many options in the slicers like that. You can have a slicer from Prusa, from Octa slicer, as far as I know. There are a couple more, but I'm not familiar because I have only one printer. However, you may change a lot of things. So like I said, um, you may have specific profile for the filament with the different temperatures. So it's very useful to adjust to the correct, which are matching with the specification you have on the box. You can change the strength of the prototypes and things that you are printing. So normally it's about 15%. It's fine for the, I would say, rapid printing or something that you may test. But if you want to use it, actually, I think that it's better to increase because will not break like that easily. Also, you can change some strength of the bottom layers and other things. If you have, I would say, high models, it's good to have a specific supports. However, this printer is quite good because you can print without support in many ways, but sometimes it's very useful. And if you are printing in ABS, also is good to have support on the bed, so you can. It's not I would say popping up from the actual printing, and I had that kind of issues many times with the ABS, and after a couple hours of the printing, I was looking at, okay, what's going on, and I just wasted time. So it's good to in advance play around with the specific settings. Also, I would like to highlight that you can see in the back the white box. This is a very important part because this is for the have a dry filament. So if you have a huge humidity in the room, or then you may have a problem with printing, and it's like when you're printing and there's a big humidity in the filament, you can hear like a weird noise of when printing. So you can recognize it. That's why dryer is quite good. And also, if you have printers with the multicolor printing, because you can do it, it already have built in. But I don't, so that one is a very good option. So to preparing the filament before you print. So let's see. So this is the slicer. So as you can see, it show you the way how we'll print every layer, right? So we'll go, and then also you have overview what your printer is doing. So currently it's calibrating. Yeah, I would say the camera here is not fast. Is very slow, I would say. However, you can have some preview on your mobile phone, so it's good. So when you are gardening or you are out of the home, you can see what's going on with your print, and then if it's any error, you can just stop or you can pause or whatever. So it's very good, right? So it's not for the actual live view. And I would like to add, in that printer is making time lapse. So if you would like to share with your colleagues or family that you have a nice printer and you are doing the prototypes, you can make a time lapse and share with them. So they even still that people knows about the 3D printing and the devices, they are curious how it looks like, how they are doing. So a lot of my friends when coming, so they would like to see how it works. You can see that it's starting, yeah, from the first layer, and yeah, we'll continue, right? So this is the I would say small prototype. And let me go back to the Tinkercad. So I would like to show you more. And I would like to show you the case for the, as you can see, I have a lot of models. So Tinkercad this. So this is actually the HMI. So this is the CAD file for the HMI board I received from Katie. So thank you so much. It helped me a lot. And you can see that it contains a lot of layers, to be fair. So let me undone this. So you can see that, yeah. So you can see that different halls, different walls. I made the different colors to make it simple. However, I printed about 10 different cases. And once I've got the final result, then I was able to use it. So the one of the issues I had was with the buttons. So I made that too small. And I couldn't press properly specific button using this funny orange button. So yeah, let's see how printing's going, and we can jump to the, yeah, so it's doing the small progress. I can see that this made small error, but it's fine. After all, it's good to have a sandpaper, and also you can paint it. So after printing itself, you can use it out of the box, but also you can make it a little bit polished and then looks shiny. So let me back to the presentation itself. Not the screen. Yep. And I'm not sure why it's going that way. Hold on for the second. So let me stop sharing and then let me quickly. So to be fair, it's a last slide, almost last. So let me quickly go that way. Okay, so let me share again. Yeah, so the Q&A. So let me open the chat. So do you have any questions that you would like to ask, and I'm capable to answer? If not, then I will respond later. So let me go check. Let me check some comments. So Daniel Miles said about the switching to the SLA printer. Well, I would say, as far as I know, they are from the like a different purpose. So they are great for specific small figures, and so you have better details. I heard, I don't have that SLA printer yet, but I heard that the very problematic is to clean it up. So you have to prepare, and all the maintenance around the printer is consume more time than normal FDM printer. I may be wrong, but I heard from the community that they have some kind of issue. Is the file available online for the case? The question from Hyun. I hope I pronounced correctly. Well, should be. I need to double check with my GitHub, so I will upload the file so you can use it for sure. Yeah, I can see the types of like a free cat, open cat. Yeah, so like I said, there are many of the software that you can use it. Paul, regarding to the PLA, I would say so depends of the printer you have. Because there might be printer which is open like mine, or can be printer which is closed. So there are different of them. I can see from the Devil Design, they suggest hot end from 200 Celsius degrees to 235, and heated bed from 50 to 60 Celsius. So yeah, so that's about the, but also if you have your own filament, you can find on the producer page the specification about it, because that might be different. And first of all, I was using the default from the bamboo, because I was using the bamboo filament. But then once I got the Devil Design, after a couple failed prints, I would say were not failed, but the quality was a bit weird and had some errors. I've changed the settings and that are fine. Yeah, Daniel, I'll put the link to the case after the meeting, because I need to find out. So, any other questions? Don't be shy. I know normally people are not asking the questions. Yeah, so Paul, good question. I would say so. First of all, you have to dry the filament. That's the one thing, and the second, you need to use the proper temperatures, and it should prevent it. So I would say I never had the issue like that, but I heard that might be a problem in my last 3D printer in the XYZ. I was struggling with this, and I had to clean everything, and it was a nightmare. But that printer was disaster. Yeah. Well, regarding to the HMI board, so I suggest to download all the packages. So from the HMI board, and also GSCC for the ARM, and some other. I would say personally, I had no time to deal deeper within the board yet. However, I think would be great to ask community, and I'm sure that RT-Thread engineers may help. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I think that's good, because I would say it's a quite new product, and it may struggle with I would say some issues. Let me show you the actual printing. So let me end the slideshow and go to the. As you can see, it's a progress. Community, as far as I know, it's on the website, and you have a club. Yeah, Paul, regarding to the extruder, I'm using 0.4 as a standard one. 0.2 may have problems, and you have to clean it up. But the bigger extruders should be fine without any problems. So I would say depends what you are printing, right? And I'm using 0.4 right now, and no issue so far. And even last time I printed the mounting bracket for the iMac Studio for my colleague, was printing like 6 hours or 7 hours, but without any problems. So we have a 2 minutes left. I know that we are out of the time, but let's wait for the end. Yeah, Paul. I would say sometimes it's better to just spend more money. I know that it's difficult for some people, but yeah, if you want to avoid, it's better to avoid some errors. It's better to just add more money. And also, I struggle with the same, I would say, decisions, because I was looking for the Ender 5S Pro, I think, but then I was reading a lot of discussions that someone bought the printer and changed almost everything. So what's the point? I was looking for something that I will print, connect, and done, because I don't have time to play around with these things, and I would like to focus on the actual designing of the prototypes, and then playing around and see how it works, and then share with the other people. So yeah, so it's finishing. So normally we should wait a couple minutes, because it's pretty hot, but I will make exceptions. No, done. So hold on for the second. So let me just, because I'm using the headset, and it's traditional cable way. So hold on for the second. Still hot. So yeah, we have this prototype. I will check if it's fit. Perfect. It's a bamboo P1P. Yeah. So as you can see, yeah, it's fit perfectly. And if you have a different one, because this is without Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi version also should fit. Yeah. So like I said, this is the just a basic one, and but I would like to show you how it looks like from the beginning of the idea to the actual product, that you can just put the screws, and then you can put on the wall and have some power bank or USB cable from the wall, and have a Raspberry Pi Pico. So yeah, I would say that was it from my end. I hope you enjoyed. I tried my best. Next time, I promise I will make a presentation without any technical issues, and I will spend some time to polish it and make it better. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can contact Katie. Of course, follow the Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. You can find me on the LinkedIn, so feel free to send me the invitation. And also, if you have any questions, any ideas, feel free. I'm more than happy to answer. So again, thank you so much. Thank you, Katie, and thank you, RT-Thread team. I really appreciate your work. Very good work. And yeah, see you next time.